Hello?
Hi, this is Mo Boiler. I'm from Vice Magazine, and we're doing an interview on hip gay poets, and you, my friend, fit the bill. You're indie, edgy, and fresh, which is what we at Vice Magazine are all about. Would you care to do a phone interview?
Yeah, I guess.
Excellent. Do you mind if I record this interview?
No, I definitely do not want it recorded.
Okay, I will turn my recorder off. Click.
Did you just say click?
No, that was the recorder. Moving forward, you've been dubbed as a performing artist. Any thoughts to those allegations?
Well, allegations has some pretty strong connotations to it. But yes, in the 90s I created and presented 7 full-length solo works here, there, and wherever. Although I don't like being labeled a performing artist or slam poet, when someone calls me a performance poet or spoken word artist, it's usually not done with neutrality. It's as if they're saying, the poor boy just cannot write, but he speaks so good and fun. Performance poetry does get a bad rap these days. Always has. How many bad beat poet jokes have we seen before? Mainly because there's a lot of bad crap out there. Manipulative, easy, fake plastic earnestness. Not to say that there isn't a lot of printed crap, but the performance stuff is more immediate, easier to mock and ridicule than having to actually take the time out to read something before mocking it. There is a long history of performance poetry, tracing its lineage from the oral tradition, troubadours, folk songs, native chants, and all that. I don't think what I do is performance poetry per se. In performance poetry, or spoken word as they call it these days, the primary method of disseminating the work is oral. I pay a lot of attention to the sound of my work. I take great care in the language, and the musicality of the language. I enjoy doing readings, but that does not make me necessarily a performance poet.
I think it does. I really do. Moving forward, are there any other non-poetry projects that you're involved in?
Yes, I also have a project called Book 2, where I take discarded or abandoned books which I found on the streets and other public places, then remake and remodel them into artist books.
Oh yes, that is very street indeed. Very indie. We like that at Vice Magazine. We like to think of ourselves as the apex of fresh. Get your jeans and roll them up. Go out and grow a weird-looking mustache, then get on your fixed-gear bike and prepare to ride the Vice train to Acceptanceville. We at Vice are serving up a hard bucket of the most happening blood. We're feeding a spit roast pig in your honor, kissing the wind, calling you boss.
What?
Moving forward, a continual theme throughout your poems is criticism of the darker aspects of Western American culture. Consumerism, racism, sexism, and exploitation. You also use a fair amount of scientific jargon.
There are a lot of scientific and medical references, as well as a lot of Christian references in my work. I was thinking back over my upbringing and my life, and the building blocks that made it thus. Also, as queer folk, in the past decades, and especially now, medical and scientific terminology has become more a part of the gay speak as any disco dolly slang. It's how we speak, a new language we have to learn to negotiate our way through our queer lives in this epoch.
Do your best to combine what you just said and relate it to the first part of my question that prompted your previous answer.
Can you repeat that?
I doubt it.
Oh, here goes. News today is about entertainment and lifestyles. We don't have any real news in the U.S. The science that filters into the news is in service of the bland lifestyle that we are supposed to want. How many news reports about anti-aging formulas, anti-fat pills, and anti-cholesterol pills do we need in 1 week? The real grit of science is lost. Like how we are constantly poisoned by corporations in air and food. How pharmaceutical companies are so damn evil. How we give up our freedoms to be enslaved to the idea of progress. What I hope is that the arts, poetry, writing, and literature will allow us to train our minds so that we can question all the stuff, all the information, all the babble shoved at us in the name of American life and progress and the millennium and all that hooey.
You're a surrealist. Does that mean you like to keep it surreal? Because we at Vice like to keep it real, but we're not realists. So I'm not totally sure why I asked you that question.
You probably just wanted to force that play on words in there.
You got me.
And no, I don't think of myself as a surrealist in any way.
Well, we do. And we decide how things are for the terminally hip.
everything in my work is thought out, edited, obsessed over, nitpicked. All the subconscious is subjected to the scrutiny of examination. I'm more influenced by the Fluxus movement, which had its roots in Dada. Surrealism and Dada have been so diluted and commoditized. Every bit of irony, smartness, and charm has been smacked out of it. It's coasters, bookmarks, and cocktail stirrers, which could be interesting, but they end up as cute, not even kiddish, which I can handle. The word surreal is so overused in Hollywood movies. Everything that is mildly bizarre is suddenly surreal. Anything postmodern is also called surreal.
Well, do you think Fluxus will become commoditized?
Oh, please, this is America. Everything is, can, and will be commoditized. A lot of the more non-commercial advertising is derived from the conceptual art movement. Did you see that ad for that internet company that bought the Martin Luther King speech?
No, but what a great idea.
That's not what I meant.
Tell my classmates what Fluxus is.
Did you say classmates?
No, I, said masturbates, fuck both his. Moving forward, tell us what Fluxus is.
Why don't you just Wikipedia?
Because Wikipedia has the credibility of some random know-it-all fat guy on the internet.
This is from Wikipedia. If you see Justin Chin, do not tell him that I did this, because it will just really ruin my street cred. So, Fluxos, a name taken from the Latin word meaning to flow, is an artistic international network of artists, composers, designers, noted for blending different artistic media and disciplines in the 1960s. They've been active in visual art and music, as well as literature, urban planning, architecture, and design. Fluxus is often described as intermedia. The Fluxus artistic philosophy can be expressed as a synthesis of four key factors that define the majority of the Fluxus work. God damn it, you cat! One, Fluxus is an attitude, it is not a movement or a style. Fluxus is an intermedia. Fluxus creators like to see what is happening when different media intersect. They found in everyday objects, sounds, images, and text to create new combinations of objects, sounds, images, and text. Three, Fluxus works are simple. Fluxus works are simple. The art is small. The texts are short. Cat, you want a piece of the, that's what I thought. Makes me feel like a man. The texts are short and the performances are brief. Fluxus is fun. Humor has always been an important element of Fluxus, and this is Dada. Dada is the groundwork to abstract art and sound poetry, a starting point for performance art and a prelude to postmodernism, an influence on pop art, a celebration of anti-art, later to be embraced by anarcho-political uses in the 1960s for the movement that lay the foundation for surrealism.
Say something profound using the terms bratty, ironic, and slutty cousin.
Art making doesn't have to be bratty, of course. I just likes it that way. Brattiness is the slutty cousin of irony.
Truly, that is a gift, my friend.
Well, you set 'em up and I knock 'em down.
What about people thinking your diction is too strong or confrontational? Would you say that they put the dick in diction?
No. However, it is a problem because it blocks some readings of my work. I know that. Some people cannot get beyond the oogies, the icky, the stuff that makes you shudder with ick. But reading, real reading, is not supposed to be easy or relaxing. There's some work involved. Then again, I'm guilty of that too. I distrust overtly popular books, the Oprah books, certain authors, books with a gay buzz, books with naked men on the cover.
Tell us about your website.
I have a website called Infinite Read, which has a bunch of poetry.
It was at this point I had everything I needed to create the ultimate poetry presentation, to win the hearts and minds of my fellow classmates.